Good morning and welcome to OptionsTender. It is Wednesday, January 22nd, 2025. We are about to get new all-time highs. So this scenario that I was not really looking for, I was looking for a lower high at the 786, but nevertheless, it's happening. Here we go. We're going to get new all-time highs here. We're looking at We should get an alert here any second. We're looking at the 1929 high, 2000 high, and we'll call it now the 2025 high, unless we miss it by a point. So we are doing this intraday. If you want to get these videos intraday, consider becoming a YouTube member. It's 99 cents, comes with the Discord and trade alerts. All right, so let's jump into this. We're going to go through SPX. We're going to jump around and spend most of our time on the daily time frame. Okay, I have a picture to paint out, and I want to make sure that you see that from my point of view, and then you can judge on, do your own analysis on that. Okay, so there's the big picture. We're also in confluence with the 2008 top, the 21 top, which is where we're going to spend some time here. And notice we have about 3 months there where we made a new high there. I think that's very similar to what we're doing here, or at least it could be. So we have to keep our mindset ready. And I think it might have happened here as well in 2008 where SPX made or SPY or ES made a higher high, but tech made a lower high. So let's make sure we check that out. This is October here. And I think that we're eking out a new high here, but we're in this beautiful confluence of the trend lines from 2008 all the way from the 1929 trend line. This is not going to end well, and I will post the video up top. It was an old video, and that was just in case we came off of the high here in an aggressive way. I'll show you what that might look like, and it pertains to this new high as well. So it's called If This Is About to Happen, and I'll put that up top and at the end. And the whole gist of it is getting at what the rejection off the highs could look like, and in what size move it could be, and how long that could possibly take. All right, so let's move to the weekly real quick, and we'll check out the indicators. Now, on the weekly time frame, we'll just stick with the SPX. It still pertains. So we have this negative divergence. We possibly could have rejected off and made a lower high, made a top in December. I think we're now going to make new all-time highs. We're simply a point or two away. And so this will just stretch out just a little bit more. Okay? This is eventually going to play out. The divergences always play out. It's the same thing as over here. You get the divergences. Higher highs, lower highs in momentum. And on the RSI, we'll make another negative divergence here as well. Okay? A lower high even from this point. And we're just barely going to make it into the negative territory. Or maybe not even that. It's the close of the week, but we'll see where that is. We're going to get a lower high, though. That's the whole point. All right, and that's super important on the weekly time frame, because when that plays out, it's gonna play out pretty aggressive. So one of our members in the Discord, they're talking about, are we getting out of puts or anything like that? Well, no, is my short answer. And the video that says that I'm going to post at the end will kind of point that out. Okay, I'm not worried about any of my puts. Some of them might expire. Some of them that look like they're going to expire worthless are going to come back in full swing. here we are on the daily time frame. Here is the 20 and the 1920 and the 2000 top here, and here's the 2008. We're coming to confluence perfectly with if we eke out a new high here. And I think we're at about 20, 25 points away from that. All right. So price decided to go directly to that point with Netflix earnings and whatever else is going on. We had that gap up. I thought that we were going to have a pullback and then make some sort of any sort of shape, some sort of pullback and then move higher. It went directly there. And honestly, that's, if it's going to do it, wasting time is usually the worst thing that could happen to if you're in shorts like I am. So we'll see how soon we get up to these levels, but we should eke out a new all-time high today. If not tomorrow, perhaps we get another gap up and go. Most of the work is done overnight when you start to get these exhaustive moves. Usually they're mostly gaps, exhaustion gaps. Okay, so what's happening then? If we make a new all-time high here, I think then we have to start over with our wave count. And now that we're on the daily, let's go around the horn, and I want to show you 2021. I got to expand the time frame out just a little bit. Let's just bring it out to 10 years. Okay, so here's what happened in 2021. Maybe we'll look back at 2008. But here's 2021. We made a high here. And I put the blue arrows. In the tech market, we made a new high. Clearly, we did not. In SPY, we made a new high here. All right. And in the Qs, there's where we made our high. And then we made a lower high from that point. Okay, it does appear like that's happening at this point. While the market is making a new high, we're not that far away. It still could, but there's a chance that this is going to make a lower high. Now, in this situation, look how deep that lower high is. Didn't quite make it to the 887, but it just a few ticks away between the 786 and the 887, but really still such a deep retracement where you probably at this point thought that price was going to make a new all-time high, but it didn't. And you see how aggressive price moved after that lower high. And then even in this situation right here, you have about 4 or 5 days here where price goes against what was happening right here. So it had a difficult time going higher, but it did eke out a new high here, while even in this shorter time span, the Qs made a lower high at that point. Okay, so they got weak throughout the process. Now, what else can we compare? SMH back then looked a lot different than right now, but still the same thing. They peaked on the same day and made a lower high, just barely made a lower high there. Now things are a little bit different now, and I'm going to show you the current look. I'm going to be flipping back and forth. I'll show you that, but let me finish off with a couple of these. So IWM back then made a peak a little bit earlier, but still following the same progress. It never really recovered from that. Okay, got underneath and made a lower high and continued to pretty much make it a fairly sharp move down there. But you see that aggressive 5-wave move down, or an ABC you can do this in anyway, but either way, you have your nice big move to the downside there. But this is where things kind of turn. And this is what I want to point out. And there's a difference now, but same concept. So DIA also made a new high, or made a top, and then aggressively sold off, but then started to have some relative strength, and with the market, helped the market gain new highs here. You see how aggressive the Dow, the diamonds here, moved up, and that was where the money piled up into a rotation to help the market move to where it is now. So with that said, let's look at where we are now. Okay, with SPY likely to make new highs here today, tomorrow. Then let's look at the Qs. Qs possibly make a lower high. All right, back test to the wedge. And this would, in that situation, I'm looking at this as being a impulse wave here, and then an A, B, C correction, expanding flat. Now here is the new DIA in my opinion. Okay, SMH still making a lower high here, but is relatively stronger at this point. All right, and the gap close, and also the 887 would be right here at about 273. We went over this in more detail in the members video, but that could be the next target if price starts to break out from here, and it could drag SPY up. This is where the rotation of money is going into, but I still think we make a lower high. While IWM still kind of does the same thing it did last time, not recovering as much as I thought money would have rotated in here a little bit more, but not if it's following this game plan. It's probably going to fail at this point near the 50 moving average or near here. And then DIA was not the hero in this one, even though it had a nice move up. Or, you know, things could change. Things could start to rotate here. But in those cases, if we're comparing, DIA would have made a new high here, okay? I think this might be tapping out here pretty soon, reaching the 50%, 50-60% retracement. All right. Okay, we made our all-time high. There it is. Now we have our divergence. I think this move is going to be limited on where it goes. But that's the main thing I want to show you. We're just doing this rotation idea. We got our all-time high. I doubt any other of these moves make an all-time high, but we do have our target once again at SPX. And SPY didn't make an all-time high yet, I don't believe yet. So just have a few more points, probably 10, 20 points from here. SPY, you see those arrows. Those arrows have to do with that video that I'm talking about. I'll post it at the end. SPY, just a little bit more to go. The all-time high was 609.07. About a point and a half off of that. So a little bit more to go. And maybe gets it today, maybe gets it tomorrow. ES. Maybe gets it over tonight or so, and just has about 61, about 50 points to go. Yep, about 50 points to go. We'll see, when that happens, if that happens tomorrow or so. All right, so that's the idea. We'll keep an eye on the Qs. And let's go to the 65 here. Let's see where we're at. Above the options expected move. I don't know if we'll get any sort of reversal into Friday. But if price wants to, it can go up to the 887. I have two different levels here, and that's one off this impulse move here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's the one that's highlighted right now. So we are pausing at the 786 there, and then the 887 would be above. But then we have another possible, and that's just from high to low there. So clearly we're over the 786. So the next two levels here are 534.69 and 535.77 right up here, and that goes into this consolidation range at this point. So maybe just a little bit more to go from the Qs, and then we start diverging. That's what I'm looking for. Doesn't have to. This can get all-time highs as well, and you know, both are dandy, and that will make a divergence as well. But you see what the market likes to do when everybody piles in, especially tech. Everybody loves tech, and so that would be the one to rug pull first. And I think that might be... Let's see if there's... Let's go back for time and price. I know I'm jumping around. Want to make sure that we get... I don't know why things are lagging so much right now. So on the daily time frame, this is no longer 1, 2. We'll have to start those over later. The daily time frame, we're looking at about 124 to 128 being our time frame. So maybe going into Friday would be the 24th. So Friday and Monday, maybe we have negative days in there, some sort of reversal. It's not typical we have a reversal on Friday. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. This is where I do suspect that we have some sort of reversal, and that might be all the way to 128, which is if we have Friday, Sunday, yeah, so that'd be turnaround Tuesday here on the 28th. So let's see what happens going into these time frames. We don't have that anymore, and then on the weekly time frame, we have a time relationship with price at beginning to the middle of February. So that will be, we'll look into that later. And 65. So we have a little bit more to go here to get our all-time highs. And then time and price. We do have, you know, a block coming in here soon. Maybe we get a reversal and then a slight bottom into Tuesday. We'll have to see, but we do have something coming in tomorrow and Friday. So let's see what we're getting close to time and price. Yeah, that's all I can say. So let's take it from here. Thanks for watching us. Thanks for all the support. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We will talk to you tomorrow.